So today I'm making, lift this up again, it is so heavy, Vine Co. And it's a wine kit. Got it from lovebrewing.com. 80 quid, 79 quid I think it was, for the kit. So it's not cheap by no means. I think it was Love Brewing anyway. It was either Love Brewing or Creative Winemaking. One of the two. Yeah, so 79 quid, not cheap. I've just opened it up just to get the instructions out. So you got the instructions, always read the instructions, you know, especially if you're new to the world of winemaking. You've got your oak granular toasted chippings there, 2 packets. So that's more than you get in a lot of kits. You've got bentonite, 30 grams. You've got sorbate. Remember rightly, sorbate is what stops the fermenting. Sanitizing, that's for the finings, that's to clear your wine. Sol, again, that's to clear your wine. And obviously the main product, yeast, because without that puppy. And then obviously the juice, which is down there. So the instructions are, like I say, follow the bloody instructions. My bucket's here. Just see it on camera, yeah. Make sure it's washed out, make sure it's sterilised, and then a rinse afterwards. Different sterilisation products, you do different things. If you're new, go for a cheaper kit. Don't go for an £80 kit for your first kit, because if you knacker it up, that's a lot of crying over spilt wine, as it were. So the instructions are in English, and they're actually quite easy to follow. Much easier than some other kits out there, I tell you. So, but I may be wrong. So, obviously I've slept since, you know, the last time I did any homebrew. So, I'll chuck this fella in. And the first hot kettle of water, which I've already done off camera, can go in. Tend to use 2 kettlefuls of hot water. Sometimes it'll be 2.5. The thing is, you know, really you should probably have a thermometer to test the test how much you're putting in, basically. That bentonite, I want it to be moved around. It's hot. Always something to remember, that the bottom of these get ruddy hot. If you have to, use a stirrer. I'm good at stirring, apparently. So. And it says here it is normal for bentonite not to fully dissolve in the water, so if it doesn't dissolve, don't overly worry. And then, the interesting part is the bag. And as you can see, it's bloody heavy. So, if you suffer with not having a good bag, you may want to get somebody who's a bit younger, a bit more stronger to do it for you. So, bloody hell, that might be easy to get off. Get a knife on it just to give it a pop up. God's sakes. You see, these are things you don't know. Ah, yeah. Here we go. Just needed a little bit of help. Here comes the awkward and hard bit. Getting that into that without getting it one all over your side, all over the floor. And basically not where it's supposed to be. I've got to be honest, not the easiest. Put that on the floor for this time. Now the awesome thing was, because the vantage point was much lower, it was far easier to pour it in. Something to think about. So, put that back up there. And because it is an expensive kit, you get a lot more juice. So it's already on, with that one kettle full of water for the benzonite, and the wine kit, you're already on about 12 litres, so you ain't got to have much cold water now to get to the, to where you want to be. The thing to do now though, is you've got this. This needs a rinse out, it needs to be clean, because there's still juice in there, and that juice you want in there. You paid 80 quid, you want all the juice you can get, you want the best quality wine that you can get. This should make an outstanding wine. For the price it should do anyway, because you've already invested nearly £3 a bottle. Obviously kits like this make 30 bottles. The investment already stands about £2.70 a bottle, so it ain't bloody cheap. And again, awkward part, pouring it into the back in. Really, use a funnel. Get a decent funnel. I think it does tell you in the instructions. So what we're going to do, we'll pour so much in that kettle. We're just going to give it a good swirl round. Like I said, you want as much of that in as you can. And there you go, you see? So it's swirled around a bit. And quickly need to put the bin out, so a 1 minute delay. And I've just fucking realised that nobody else has got their bins out, so I'm talking out my backside. Hey, you can't win them all, can you? I'm bound to get some dislikes for that, but I thought I was wrong with the bins. I'm now knackered because I've run out there, got the flipping bin out, and I've just looked up the street, nobody else has got their shuffing bins out. Oh, that's... Yeah, this is the last time I'm going to rinse it. Yeah, Yeah, there we go. Pretty damn clear. And obviously you can't pause reviews. This is live streaming, so I can't pause it to run to the flipping bin, to put the bin out, and I had to discover I put it out on the wrong day. Annoyed? Yeah. It's just a case of topping up to 23 litres now. So. And I will give you a warning that you put this, wherever you put it, it's got to be warm. So airing cupboard or a warm room. Just keep your eye on the bubbling process, because when it does start to bubble, there's a likelihood it's going to go through your seal. The amount of stuff that it creates, you know, the fluffy stuff on top, as it were. That stuff. Yeah, it can. Did I use only water? No, I didn't. So yeah, 2 kettlefuls of water. Obviously, if your kettle's absolutely massive, then don't do 2 kettlefuls. You know, do a few litres. Before you add your yeast, we'll get there in a minute. We get up to 23 or 23 and a half. We've got to put about an extra half in just for the sediment layer. Flipping bin back now. Put the bin back in the garden. Could have sworn I read Saturday. Eh? Dear, oh dear. So, on my bucket, it only says 22 on the bucket, just down here. Yeah, that's it. So now I've got to put an extra litre in, or a little bit, or 1500 mils, you know. You can go as much as you want, you can put 25 in, but be wary. Make sure you use a 30 litre fermentation or 5 litres space, so, you know, well worth thinking about. Right, yep, that's like that. There we go. It's around about 23 and a half litres in there. Now, it's time to add the oak chippings. These give the oakiness, helps with the flavour. 2 bags in this mix, so you usually only get 1 bag. So you can see why. A more expensive bag. I mean, really, you know with these oak chips, if you was doing a beer that you was making from a kit, you could put an oak in your beer to make it and give it an oaky flavour, if you really wanted to, obviously. So, first one in. Here's the next one. Saturday morning, crap night of sleep. Sun came in the bed. None of us are getting any good sleep. Woke up early because we're trying to get ourselves back into the routine of work, you know, and it's tough. I can understand people who are on the dole for years, struggling to get a new job. The thing we do need said yeast. So, we're going to store this at 20 degrees. My dining room's the best place on the floor. It's quite warm in there, near the radiator, not too near the radiator, mind you. And so it didn't take long at all. You know, if you've got everything in ready, 15 minutes or so. It's got a lovely smell already. You can smell the juice, although it's still juice. It's not actually wine yet. And then you've got the oak chippings, and then the yeast. So you've got the juice element, the fruit element. It's reconnected. Stupid bloody fan. that's what it looks like. You can see the yeast in the middle, you can see the juice around the edge, the oak just starting to go down, and there's the yeast. And yeah, that I pray that the space between the juice, that much of space is enough for when it starts to wart up and starts to bubble up. So you don't put sugar in these mixers. You do on the cheaper mixers. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to take a while. It's a 6-week kit. That's 6 weeks from today. So they're even the first chance of you getting the drink out of it, because it's got to brew, and the brewing stage, according to this, is 2 weeks of brewing. Yeah, 2 weeks before you even start stabilising and degassing. Wow. You've got a day's worth of degassing, that's where you had your sorbate. And then day 15 clearing. And then from day 26 to 54, wow. It's polishing and rack aging. Bottling comes way after that. So, you know, these kits are an investment. They're not a kit that you can be drinking next week. You know, like some kits are. Some kits are 4-day kits. You can drink pretty quickly. This is a kit to basically for the summer now, or even next Christmas. You know, let it age properly. But yeah, that's what you pay 80 quid for. And thanks to my wife for buying it, man. Didn't think I'd ever get to try and do an Amarone kit. So I'm hoping that it comes off. Obviously, cleanliness is godliness. God's sakes, do not mess about. Do make sure everything's spotlessly clean before you do. And that's it for this homebrew video. Apart from the 1 minute break with the bin, and then to discover that I've got the wrong date anyway. I wonder why last night no one was putting bloody bins out. Hey, obviously I don't read. And that's it. See you soon. Cheers.